Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Desiree from White Wolf. Today we're going to learn how to test if you have an open aura. So let's start. Maybe firstly, what is it like to have an open aura and what is it? It just means that you're really sensitive to all kinds of stimuli. This means really normal stimuli like how's the weather or temperature, to more weird stimuli like how someone feels, or the presence of ghosts. This all is and means having an open aura. So, how do you get that, by the way? It's probably how you are born, and it's probably runs in the family a little. Or you went through something which changed you, and sometimes you get an open aura because of that as well. But today, we're going to test if you have one. So, let's just begin. Firstly, notice if you meet up with someone. It's better if it's regular because then you can really test it. Try to see how you are that day, and if something changes, if you say hi to that person and sit down, and if something changes within you, like you get a stomach ache or something, and then every time you see that person, or you get a little bit gloomy or extremely happy or like really assertive. Just see if something is changing within you, like internally. Not because the other wants to do something together, but just because you change from the inside. It's really handy to test it with pain. So if the other always has a sore throat, it's really good to test it because if you also have a sore throat, but only if you meet up with him or her, your aura is really open. And this goes with everybody and for everybody. Second thing is, how do you do in crowded places? Because whether there's a good ambience or a bad one, if you really get sucked up in it or get really tired after, your aura is open. So I discussed now two things. First example was clairsentience, which is a gift amongst other gifts. Second was just stimuli in general. And that's what I want to focus on because those two really matter if you want to test if you have an open aura. Because if you dream a lot, which most people do, then it means that you're clairvoyant, but it doesn't have to mean that you're also having an open aura. So we're going to skip those gifts to make this work. Then the third thing, how are you in small places like the toilet, your car, um, a bus that is empty? How do you feel? Because if you really feel rested and yourself and protected, then you have an open aura because you are protected in those small places because stimuli are actually quite easy to understand. Stimuli are there. But if you are in a small place alone, stimuli of other people, like someone who passes by your window or can get to you. But if you stand outside your car and someone passes by your window, then the stimuli can get onto you because there's all the space to get onto you. So that small places. However, if you have this, you have such an open aura. If you are, for example, in a bus, which is small but it's crowded, of course, besides annoyance because you can't sit down or something, if you feel happening to yourself, well, like a lot of things, different emotions, or you suddenly have to cry, or of course, the positive emotions as well, or you suddenly have a pain somewhere and it disappears if you get out of the bus, then you have an open hour because all the stimuli of all the people got into you. And yeah, but it's good that you shake it off after you get out of the bus because it stays there. That's really nice. That's also how you treat an open aura. Be aware and take precautions. Like if you get into those crowded buses, make sure you, for example, if you get home, just read something on the toilet for for a while, or sit in a room where that's tiny rooms. Um, that will really help. And understand, hey, I'm going to that friend today. My throat will hurt because it always does. Will really help to have it not hurt. And another thing is take a shower after a big event, or yeah, but do it more consciously, because a shower is also stimuli, a lot of stimuli, but it's neutral. So if you're under the shower, you're yourself. That's really good. That's also how you test an open aura. Just see how you feel before you get into the shower. Feel, but also what are you thinking? And do you have pain somewhere? And if it's in the shower, if it disappears there, then you know it wasn't yours, and then you understand, okay, this is what an open aura means, which means that the next time, because of the acceptance, you will have a, well, little less open aura, because it works that way. The stronger you mentally feel, the, yeah, the more the aura is protected. But it's not always a mentally thing. It's often also how you are born and how you are wired. So that's sad. Yeah, last thing. If you notice that how you test on all those things, that it sometimes works that way for you, but sometimes you test negative on all those things. Yeah? So, for example, today you checkbox everything I say, but tomorrow, for example, you have nothing. And if someone says, I have a stomach ache, and you think, okay, but I don't feel it today, but usually I do, but okay. It also could mean that you have an open aura, but a little bit differently. Namely, depending on how you slept that night or how stressed you are. And if you're sensitive like that, then it could mean that sometimes if you slept really well and feel happy and have a day off or something, your aura is nice and thick. It's how you're wired, to be sensitive like that. But if you slept well, not well, etc., then your aura is thin. It could be that you're wired like that. Then for some people, it doesn't matter if they slept well, good, feel good, not good. Did they feel everything from outside? Always. So that was it for how to test and what to do. If you want to read more, you can see below. And I hope you enjoyed the video and subscribe as well. And until next time.